Good morning, class. It's Mrs. Summers here, and today we are going to be doing a super fun project. We are going to be learning how to make crystals. So first, we're going to do a little recap. As you might remember in class right now, we've been going over how different types of materials, different types of matter have different types of properties. For example, gases are, the air, liquids are like water, and solids are like rocks. And those all have different properties. Those properties are what make up those materials. Next, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be making observations today on how if we mix a solid and a liquid together, how it can make a whole new material. Today, our material is going to be crystals. We're going to be using some simple materials that you already have because I made little goodie bags for you. All of you should have little bags like this. I dropped them off with your parents. So everything you need is going to be right here. This is a project that you'll need to do with a grown-up, okay? So make sure you have your parent with you. Okay, so first, have you ever walked in sand? What did it look like? How did it feel on your feet? Now, think about have you ever held an ice cube in your hand? What did it feel like? Now, if you took a cup of water and tried to pour water into your hand, how does that feel different than the ice cube? Aren't they both the same things? Why do they look different? Why do they feel different? We're going to kind of be going over some of those questions today, but we're going to relate them back to our project. So the biggest thing today is we're going to be making observations on what you see throughout our project, okay? So first, what we're going to do is I want you to get your goodie bag out. This is a little sneak peek. This is what your final project is going to look like. Okay, super fun, super simple. We'll leave those there. Okay, so first, get out your goodie bag. In your bag, you're gonna have some pipe cleaners. You're gonna have a mason jar, a popsicle stick, a paper towel. This is called borax. Borax is a cleaning solution, kind of like laundry detergent. This is the solid that we're gonna be putting into water today. And then you're gonna have some string, okay? So first things first, I have cut all your pipe cleaners for you into little pieces. I want you to go ahead and shape them however you want. Today we're kind of doing candy canes. Those are the easiest. So if you wanna go ahead, I twisted mine and made little ones. I made a bigger one. All your pipe cleaners are slightly different in size. So you're gonna make little candy canes, okay? The next thing you're going to do is with your popsicle stick, let me adjust the camera a little bit. With the popsicle stick, you're going to set it over the top of the cup like that, over the top of the mason jar. This is what suspends your pipe cleaners in the liquid. The biggest thing that we're going to do is when we do this project, you want to make sure that when you put your candy cane into the jar, you don't want it to touch the sides, the bottom, or anything. It needs to just be hanging there freely, okay? So what we're going to do now is go ahead and take your string and kind of tie it into a little circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be any size. I made my strings a little bit little. Okay. And this is going to be how we hang the candy cane from the popsicle sticks. Now we're doing this before we add any water or anything into it because I want to make sure that you have everything ready. So when we get our grown-ups involved, whether it be mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, they can just do the hard part and you're already ready to go. Okay, so once you get your little tie there, basically you just slip it on over your popsicle stick and then your candy cane, you just loop through, okay? Mine is a little bit short. As you can see, I would probably want to make it a little bit longer because when it hangs in here, oops, you can't see that, sorry. When it hangs in here, you want it to not touch the bottom of the jar, but you also want to make sure the top is going to be all the way in the water. Otherwise, the top of your candy cane isn't going to have any crystals on it, and you want crystals on your candy canes, okay? Okay, so now class, before we continue, I want you to go ahead and get a pen and a paper because what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over some questions throughout the project, okay? So I want to make sure that you get those ready. The next thing that we're going to do is now it's time to get your grown-up involved because we're going to need to boil some water, and that is hot, okay? So you're going to go ahead and get your grown-up, and you're going to get your pan. Next, you're going to take your mason jar and you're going to fill it up with water all the way to that line, okay? So we're going to fill it up. Okay, once it's full, you're going to pour it into your pot because that's how much water you need, just enough to fill this, okay? You're going to go ahead and put it on the stove and you're going to let that boil. Okay, so while that's boiling, we're gonna ask some questions. I want you to go ahead and start thinking. What do you think is gonna happen when the hot water mixes with the cold borax solution? Okay, go ahead and think about that. Go ahead and write your answers down on your paper. Okay, I also want you to go ahead and on your paper, write down some predictions. At the end of your project, what do you think is happening? While the water's boiling, we'll talk about some of the fun things. One thing that we're gonna do when you're all done with the project is I want you to take your candy cane and you're gonna give it to someone. You're gonna gift it to someone as a little Christmas gift, and I want you to take some construction paper or whatever you have and make a fun little Christmas card to go with it, okay? And then you'll give that to whoever is special for you for the holidays. Okay, once your water's boiling, you're gonna take this pre-measured out solution and you're gonna pour it into your boiling water. Okay, and you're gonna mix it up. You're gonna mix it really well. It's not gonna dissolve all the way, but you'll get it to where it's mostly dissolved. Okay, once that's dissolved with your grown-up, you'll take the water, okay? Make sure your grown-up is helping you do this because you don't wanna burn yourself. It's very hot, okay? You're gonna pour the solution into the mason jar, just like that. Then you're gonna take your candy cane and you're going to dip it into the solution. Like I said, remember my pipe cleaner and my string is a little bit short so it doesn't cover all the way, but you wanna make sure that it's not touching any sides, the bottom, or anything. It's just suspending there, okay? I want you to put this in a quiet spot where it's not going to get disturbed because we're gonna be making observations over the next about 24 hours, okay? So right now, I want you to take out your pen and paper and I want you to write down what you see. What are you observing right now? What's happened to the water? What's happened to the borax? What do you think is gonna happen to the pipe cleaner, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to let this sit for a few hours. You're gonna make 2 more observations, okay? What I want you to do is you're gonna leave this alone and then right before you go to bed tonight, I want you to go look at your candy cane. What's happening to it? What do you think is going on? What's happening between the water and the borax? Is something happening? Are we making a new substance? The last thing you're going to do is tomorrow morning when you get up, you can go look at your candy cane and you're going to take it out of the solution. You'll take it out. That's what your paper towel's for. And you're gonna leave it to dry on the paper towel, okay? You'll just set it on your paper towel and let it dry, okay? I want you to make some final observations finally. What happened? Did what you think would happen come true? Or did it not work? If it didn't work, that's okay. What do you think maybe caused that not to work? Okay? All right, class, I want you to go ahead and do this project. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and then we will be going over some more analysis questions and some observations when we meet again in class, okay? Merry Christmas. Thank you.